Welcome to Philadelphia Walks PTSD. My name is Sharon Cole, or Sharon, or Cole, whatever you want to refer to me as, in a good way, no big deal. I've been called everything under the sun because of gang stalking, not because of YouTube necessarily. And I'm used to it. So, rat, pig, dog, horse, cow, squirrel. And speaking of squirrels, just one way to prove that animals, people, squirrels, dogs, cats, even people can be trained and or controlled, however you want to look at it, in such a way, puppeted even. One good example is it seems normal, like, oh, you get your dog trained. That seems normal. What if it goes beyond that? And can you train a dog to hump someone's leg 2 blocks away from your home, and the owner who trained the dog isn't close by? So what's the difference? If you want to check out really quick, hopefully he forgives me for you, Johnny Juicer, who I love, who encourages everyone to lead a raw vegan lifestyle, juicing, all that stuff. He uses his own dog, Noah, a Yorkshire Terrier, and a squirrel in his videos because he creates cute videos to sort of get people excited about eating in the best way possible. But he is living proof that some people have the ability to train even a wild squirrel from the outside, a squirrel that actually lives outside. I'm wondering if the squirrel he has actually is a squirrel that comes around the neighborhood and he lets him in the door, but he can create an entire video with the squirrel and his dog. So some people have magical powers, if you will. I don't know why some people have capabilities that are beyond the normal status quo. This is a guy who is very successful in his pursuit, and there's a reason he's successful, maybe more so than the average person, because he might be one of those, as I like to say, we must be giants, or they must be giants. I don't know I have no clue how it's done. Please, if I could get a dog to actually listen to one of my commands, most people can't. The best we can do is sit, stay, walk, and they'll kind of follow along. But he would be, I'll give him a big shout out in the master realm. And people who are in the raw vegan juicing field, I'll mention Dan McDonald, also Life Regenerator. I actually think these people have capabilities and they're successful in their field for a reason, and their voice is out there for a reason. They're doing good work. Technically, they're doing, God's work or good work to make sure people take care of themselves and to not harm others. But I just wanted to put that out there because a squirrel could actually be used in a negative way instead. It could be used to trip someone up who's walking with groceries down a street. Even around here, rats were used on a couple occasions way back, starting back in 2011, and people can highly train certain living beings in general. It's easier, I guess, to work with dogs, squirrels, I guess. I don't know how it's done. To me, it doesn't seem easy at all. And people pay a lot of money to try to train their dogs, and their dogs remember about half of what they learn, and it's hard to reinforce it every day. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Squirrels can be trained. Check out Johnny Juicer. I might put it in the comments. But of course, I'm on here day 75 of my one video each day, 365-day donor campaign, seeking money and a life, a way to earn a living, if you will. I've had over 68 employers in my lifetime because I've been all over the place working here, there, everywhere. Some of them very traditional jobs, some of them part-time jobs, some of them freelance, independent contractor. Here, I kept searching and looking for a place to belong in this world, and I kept finding toxic environments. And it could be because I grew up in Delaware and moved to Philadelphia, and maybe this is a nook of the universe of the United States that might not be the best for someone like me, because I would rather green juice and be healthy and happy than practice Satanism. I don't know what else to say, but so anyway, the same old spiel. I believed I'd be murdered in my apartment the 4th Monday of January 2011, and if that weren't enough for these sickos and gross, disgusting people, the games commenced after that, and it's been nonstop game since. It's a lot quieter because of the pandemic. The city has emptied out of a lot of people who used to live here. I don't know where they went. I'm kind of curious if people are told to move to different areas and then they can go on about their usual gang stalking or perpetrator type activity there. And I'm talking about things that can't necessarily be proven in a court of law. Some people would, either their awareness is at a certain level, or some people would say, oh, that person was extra rude. But if you're really aware, people are perpetrating actual, very serious, almost murderous crimes against people psychologically, physically, mentally, and psychologically, what have you. Anyway, and these people are so fierce and their games so snaring and entrapping that it is very difficult for targets to figure out how to find a good job and earn a living. So one is relegated to things like, say, dog walking or what have you. In my case, I actually think there's a good case for being human trafficked through dog walking from 2011 through 2018 because I was scared so badly in my apartment. I didn't know what to do. I called the police, but there wasn't much to be done. They barely did anything. I almost felt like it was a TV show, as if they were on Andy Griffith, just kicking their heels, like, gosh, the van that was out here seems like it was a University of Pennsylvania van. And if you're disoriented, it's hard to explain what happened because in the first 7 days, and I wrote a book about the first 7 days called Duplicity and Dress That Factories in the Making by Aaron Vans. That is my pseudonym. I decided not to use my name. And I changed all the names and I kind of twisted things a little bit so that people couldn't be recognizable in the book in case they're innocent. And it's hard to tell who's innocent and who's guilty, but there are people I care about and I don't want them to, feel like, but then there are other people who I know are part of a serious problem and I wish I could have used their names. So anyway, but I won't because I can't tell exactly who's at the core of this thing. And in the end, I live in a very liberal city, and it's possible that people are complicit in the police department. I've called internal affairs to even investigate some of the stuff. It's possible people are complicit even in the FBI. The problem is I don't belong to a major family with tentacles all over the place. So here we are in the middle of March. It's very Irish this month. And I went out to the parade and I was like, whoa, I forgot how many Irish people existed out here. I'm an American mongrel is what someone our family has been around for so long. I really don't. And people mixed and matched and all. I have no idea. But Old English is about as close as you can get. Cole is the married last name. So anyway, we have Wilkins, we have Young, we have Taylor, we have Long. These are names that are in the past on my mom and dad's side. And then some people married into a Paulin, but technically, anyway, whole thing here is I realize the police department is filled with Irish people. And I kind of forgot that that's a tradition. And, some people are fabulous and some people aren't. And the thing is, if you wind up getting attacked by people who are or aren't or could partially be complicit in the problem of gang stalking, then you're not going to get much help. There are people who have learned to play very sick, sadistic, gross games to protect their neighborhoods, to do this, do that. And if you wind up being attacked by people who are used to playing out very sick scenarios, and even who know how to train squirrels or dogs to come up under your feet so that you fall and wind up in the ER because you cracked your head on these ivory stone step in front of the brick house, that's a serious problem. Or if you're trapped in a situation where it's like, God, I can't get through a dog walk without this dog humping on me 50 million times without people coming out of every single door offering treats so that the dog goes bounding after the treats. And it's sometimes things can be fed into the brain where you feel like you're being swirled into an abyss, if you will, almost like human traffic down into a Pizzagate situation. If you remember Pizzagate, I actually kind of bought the Pizzagate conspiracy because I was experiencing something in plain sight. I knew I was swarmed by people who were complicit. And even if I tried to get help, no one would. I did try several avenues and got closed doors or deaf ears everywhere I went. We don't know anything about that. And it's like, what if everybody say you're getting raped? Oh, we don't know anything about this. We don't know anything about this. We don't know anything about this. We don't know. Oh, you can't do, I don't know. that means everyone is complicit in taking down someone for some reason, or people are afraid. Some people are so afraid that they aren't sure what to do. And that is what Philadelphia can be proud of, I guess. That's how I see Philadelphia. I would rather move. I need to have enough money to be able to make a move and have enough time to hopefully find work. But anyway, point being, this was a very big deal. I believed I'd be murdered the fourth Monday of January 2011. The games kicked off after that. Someone did bring up, they had the book called The Perfect Storm. There are several books out there called The Perfect Storm and a movie called The Perfect Storm. But this person insinuated this was the perfect storm. It was like, you were perfect for this, for all of this to convalesce and come together into this major, explosion in your apartment that no one could totally prove other than you constantly talking about it and writing about it or what have you. Otherwise, so to that person, my neighbor, in fact, had a book called back then at 64 South 19th Street. They no longer live there. I'm pretty certain have been by there and other people have come out. I'm curious where everybody went. So anyway, everybody in my experience, 99% of the people who were involved in my case, aside from say Judy Wicks, who came in later to have me walk her dog. And I'm trying to think who else. There's she and maybe one other person has not moved from the original home in which she or they lived. So if an entire group of people actually move from their homes after I finished dog walking and moved to Florida, if all these people move to another location, what's going on? People are trying to erase what happened or cover up what happened. And in fact, the apartment that I lived in, he totally refurbished it. It doesn't look anything like it used to look like, except for the shape. He changed out the windows. They even do things differently. They put the trash outside instead of keeping it in your own apartment until they keep a trash can up against the windows. I'm surprised it's legal and they're not getting penalized for that. So anyway, I used to have an air conditioning vent in the window. There were bars on the windows where I lived before, where I was terrorized. And I was literally stunned and stuck and unable to do anything. So anyway, to make a long story short, it was like a perfect storm was created in order for me to be ambushed by 8 different factions, cults, religious sects, that's sects, people who are part of special groups or think they're part of special groups, or they think they have specialized knowledge, but they're missing a lot of education. Say you go to a very specialized, we'll just go with Washington or American University. I don't know, it just came to my mind. And they teach very specific things there. In fact, a lot of people who were part of my perpetrator list went to American University, but because I went to American University. Yeah, that's right. I kind of forget there's 4 people who have moved and changed up their entire everything since all of this kind of wound down to me leaving and going to Florida, not back to Florida. I had family in Florida, and I grew up in Delaware. But at specific schools, they teach people specific things. So if you go to a major accredited university, like University of Delaware, University of Florida, I guess, in general, there's a huge liberal arts humanities program. And in general, people are learning all kinds of different things. They're more well-rounded. But if you go to a very specialized university, it's possible those people could be taught to actually gang stalk. It would be part of the curriculum. They wouldn't use the word gang stalking, but they would be taught very specific methods, very, very specific tactics on how to get a job or how to keep a job, bully out other people or scare them out, So it's possible. And it's under the guise of an education. That's the difference. And you have your regular people go to regular schools or larger schools, and that they're exposed to so many people. You can only get away with so much if you tried. But at a specialized school, and then people feel special if they go to a specialized school. You know what I mean? The thing is, I do believe I've met people who actually said they knew they were different. They knew that they weren't like everybody else because they knew they felt shortchanged. I met someone who went to the University of the Arts, and she felt shortchanged because she wondered what other people knew who went to the University of Pennsylvania. and so forth and so on. But even University of Pennsylvania has specialized schools within it. So you could go to the nursing school within the University of Pennsylvania as opposed to the entire University of Pennsylvania bachelor's degree of all, found within the entire liberal arts communication. So anyway, that's it. So that just came up. That's all I have to say today. It's day 75. It is incredibly difficult to figure out how to have a normal life because of what happened. I did actually suffer extreme terror and PTSD out the roof that first Monday. It took me years to I was just trapped in dog walking and they kept giving me work. So it's like, I guess, I even tried to sit down while being scared and shaking and trembling, trying to figure out if I could get a job somewhere else. I had a couple interviews, they didn't pan out. And it's somebody else wanted to make sure I stayed in dog walking, either for my benefit or theirs. And these days, I think it was for my benefit, kind of, in the sense that somebody bigger than all those specialized people was exposing who they were so they will know for the future how to keep a lid on them. Okay, so have a great day. Thank you so much.